You're a duelist. Yep, we are. Ah, you are. Then please, step on board. Just kidding, it's never that easy. If you wish to board the Duel Express, you'll have to get by us first. Winning this tag duel is your boarding pass. I wasn't expecting things to be a cakewalk, but who would imagine a tag duel to test our skills? Well, I don't think we have a choice. There's no way every duelist in the world can fit into the train. I guess that's true. But in a tag duel, you'll need a partner. Okay, Curly, who do you want to team up with? Me or Yugi? Gee, I don't know. Crummy Joy Wheeler or Yugi Moto, the king of fucking games? Hey everyone, it's CurlyHairedHero, and welcome back to Reshef of Destruction. So I've done a little bit of grinding in between this episode and the last, and I've gotten a whole bunch of different cards. So my deck is at least, reasonable. I didn't like, over level and get to the point where like I'm just playing fucking, normal cards out there and, smacking people. I still have like, the baby monsters, still in like the 900 ranges, but I've got a good balanced deck now, so it shouldn't be demolished by fucking Rebecca. But in order to get onto the Duel Express, we're gonna need to select a tag partner in order to face off these guys in a tag duel. It's not gonna actually be a tag duel, so it doesn't really matter who I choose. So I'm just gonna choose Yugi here. Okay, you can count on me, Curly. Because you're not actually playing, with this person. It's not like it's gonna be an actual tag duel. You're just dueling one person. He's dueling the other person. So I don't know why they bothered phrasing it as a tag duel. They should have just been like, "Oh, you must face off against all three of us for the three of you to get in," or something like that. But in any case, so there's a lot of things I wanted to talk about for this game. I think this is supposed to do. Nope, he's got Eat Be Gone. Goddamn. There's a lot of things I wanted to talk about regarding this game. So, growing up, I started watching the Yu-Gi-Oh! Series on Channel 11, which is the Warner Brothers channel where I live. And I started watching, well, I have 50 more. I started watching it and I started, loving it, and I followed it throughout the entirety of its run, right? But then sometime afterwards, the internet became a thing, and I started looking up Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff online. And then, lo and behold, I found out that apparently all of this Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff that I was watching was, some weird, altered, censored mess. And I just felt like, I don't know, it's kind of like in Yu Yu Hakusho where, I forgot his name now. Senshu? Yeah, Senshu gets shown the black tape and like his eyes open and it's just like, oh my god, the world is horrible. It was kind of like one of those situations where I found out, this whole time Yu-Gi-Oh! Was censored and it did all these dumb, stupid things and, these dumb, stupid jokes, and like the original version was a lot more serious on that stuff, and I was just like, how could they? Like, like the same reaction that most people have when they find this out. But then somewhere after that, I started getting into, like, not torrenting, but, what do they call it? Like, using applications like Napster, but not specifically Napster. I forgot what I used to use back in the day. I used to use something called BearShare, which was a file sharing program, but it was one of those programs, it was one of those programs where back in the day you would just install it, you would just type in whatever you fucking want into it, and then you would be able to download whatever it is that you possibly wanted, at the risk of, possibly being a virus or something like that. But I guess I should mention, so Witch's Apprentice effect, before used to be when you place it, you can go here and click effect to activate her effect. Instead, what it is now is that as soon as you place the card, every turn, it'll do the cycling thingy, and whenever you have a dark or a shadow monster, it'll apply the effect to it. So before you would have to play like multiple copies of Witches Apprentice, or play it last after you have all your monsters on the field. Now, you know, it'll be like a continuous effect, which is okay, except for the fact that I have to deal with this stupid cursor going around every 5 seconds for no useful reason. Oh, and it's gonna check every single time. All right. Witch's Apprentice is going to get removed from the deck because this is annoying as fuck. It's not even okay. Wow, that's so dumb. It like, oh my god, this game is so dumb. It doesn't even like appropriately boost the monsters. It just only boosted after it does the effect check, which is really stupid. Cause see, yeah, oh my god, I can't play Witch's Apprentice. All right, good to know. I like these cards, but I definitely won't be playing any of them. But yeah, so anyways, I went and I downloaded some shady program and started downloading, you know, AMVs and all that kind of stuff that you did back in that day. And I ended up coming across a copy of a Yu-Gi-Oh episode that was, you know, raw, no subs, not dubbed. And I saw it. And it happened to be the episode right after Yugi beats Weevil in the Waking the Dragons arc, you know, when they're on the train, right? And then, you know, that's when he, you know, duels Yugi. Well, Yami Yugi duels Yugi. And, you know, it's this really, like, emotional thing. I was just like, bro, this is like... My Fitbit just fell down. This is like 10 million times better than anything that I've been watching on stupid TV. Like, what the hell? I've been robbed, right? So it was a very good episode to start with. I get a somewhat useless card. And I, you know, was just like, what the fuck? I can't believe it, right? But I'll get back to that in a little bit. Gotta hand it to you, Yugi. That duel barely lasted a second. On the other hand, Curly, you had me worried. I didn't even get fucking attacked, I think. What the fuck? I couldn't waste any time. I have to find the spirit right away. But Curly's duel was pretty impressive. Let's keep this up, guys. Bravo! Please feel free to board the train. So, because of that, and because of the fact that I ended up playing this game at some point, and I was like, oh shit. You know, I see that Yugi lost the spirit. They're going on a train. So I thought in my head, because Sacred Cards, I'd already played Sacred Cards. I thought Sacred Cards, or because I knew Sacred Cards went over the Battle City plot pretty closely. I thought this game was going to go over the Waking the Dragons arc pretty closely. And there was already some similarities, because all I had really seen up until this point was the fact that, you know, Yami dueled Weevil on top of a train. So I was like, okay, there's a train involved. Check. For some reason, Yugi and Yami Yugi are separated. Check. So I was like, all right, not bad, not bad. So basically what I was trying to do is, this has happened to me a couple of times where like I watch some episode or I see an image or something like that of an anime that I'm watching, but it's like from the, like, you know, many episodes in the future, and then I try to like think backwards and put together like how we got to that point, right? So I was like, all right, so they're on the Duel Express, and you have to duel people. Weevil is gonna be there, I guess, and then for some reason we're on a train. So it's similar to this, where you lose, you know, they lose the Millennium Puzzle, etc., etc. So I tried to like figure out things that way. Lo and behold, this game does not follow that at all. I found them. As you can see, we have Panic here from Duelist Kingdom, and then, oh man, I remember seeing him, and then, like, you know, some of the stuff that happens here on the Duel Train, I was just like, alright, when does Weevil come out? And then same thing watching the anime, I was like, alright, well, when does Panic come out? But the Duel Express is reserved for duelists only. I'm raring to go. Our objective is, yeah, I know, but if we raise our duel level while we look for the Millennium items, that's like killing two birds with one stone. That's fair enough. I don't know what they want me to do here. If they want me to just duel people. Duel Express board is bound to Egypt exhibit, I think it was. The station is very crowded due to the duel tournament. Please board the train in orderly manner. So I guess I can just board the train. I don't know if I can duel anyone. Oh, I can do someone. Alright, so I guess I'll wrap up my story and then take on some of these duelists. Oh boy, I gotta remember to take out this Witch's Apprentice. I definitely don't want to be playing that anymore. But yeah, I was just like so enamored thinking that in this game they were gonna do this cool scene when you're on top of a train and like something goes south, and I kept trying to think of myself like, oh my god, what happens? Why are we on a train? What is going on? How do we duel on top of the train? When does that happen in this game? And as I've mentioned, that none of that will be happening in this game, regretfully. We will be getting on a train, but it'll just be a normal train. We won't be getting on top of it and, you know, dueling Weevil till he dies or anything of that sort. And yeah, and I remember, like, you know, playing this game and wondering, like, I would kind of like I would constantly compare back and forth between this game and the anime, thinking like, oh, maybe in this game I'll get to see Orichalcos, and then, oh, maybe in this game they'll, you know, do a thing or something like that. To the point where I almost thought like, oh, maybe in, you know, this game they will end up getting, they'll make up a new rule, because, you know, we were used to in, what is it called? Duelist Kingdom, all of a sudden there's a rule, and then immediately afterwards Battle City, and there's a whole new rule where it's like, oh, you gotta sacrifice monsters, it's only 4,000 life points, etc. Thought maybe there'd be another rule where it was like, oh, now instead you have to use only a certain number of cards in your deck. You know how it works in this game with the duelist level and stuff. I'm gonna have to play Witch's Apprentice here, regretfully, even though she's such a good card because it like boosts all the monsters on my field that are shadows and then lowers my opponent's attack too. But I guess we'll use her here one last time as I try and bear through all of this here. But yeah, Waking the Dragons is my favorite arc of all of Yu-Gi-Oh! And it just makes it a little bit more painful that this game is not about that. There's actually no games that revolve around that series. The most we've got is the newer Yu-Gi-Oh! Games where you have to just play through all of the anime stories, where it's just fucking text of what goes on in the anime and then you do the duels for them. I think it's like, what are they? Legacy of the Duelist and the other ones. That's about it. And then in Duel Links and in the actual TCG, we actually got, you know, the dragons and some of the cards they use in those episodes, and that's about it. I guess because it's filler, we try to just, you know, Konami as a series or as a company tries to just forget that any of that ever happened, which is really unfortunate. Okay, so I went ahead and I took down all the duelists that were outside, and I also managed to take out some copies of Witch's Apprentice that I had. I changed up the deck a little bit. This train is bound for the Egypt exhibition. We will be departing shortly. Why not board and spend some time dueling? So basically they want me to just take on everyone. We'll be leaving very shortly. I don't think I can like move along until I like duel these people. It's gonna be one of those things. So let's go ahead and take these guys on. Oh, maybe not. Take me lightly and suffer the consequences. We'll duel once the train pulls out. Okay, so I guess I can't leave yet. He says to spend some time dueling, but I can't duel anyone. Oh, there we go. I guess I have to try and duel everyone. Rear all clear. All clear for dueling. Duel Express is good to go. I'm going to give it my best shot. Our Duel Express is on to go. Alright, so let's go ahead and beat everyone up. I'm going to get my first win off you. Duel Express is an interesting concept, but they don't actually explain it very well. Because it's just kind of like get duelists on a train, they duel, but it's not like they explicitly say, oh, you gotta get the most wins, you gotta beat these people, winner becomes the king of games or whatever. It's just get on the train, duel. It's kind of just a plot device to get you to duel while you know, try to figure out the rest of the plot with god cards being missing and all that jazz, the Millennium items being missing and all that stuff. But it's funny because they did something somewhat similar. It was, albeit a lot more structured, with I think it was some Pokemon game. I know I've seen it in some Did You Know Gaming video where they had like this giant bus and they had a bunch of people playing. I think it was like Pokemon Silver or something like that, and they just had them playing the game on the bus. And I think it was like whoever beat the game the fastest or something like that got like, you know, some prizes or something like that. It was like something they did to like promote the game, if I remember correctly. which is kind of cool. It's a shame you don't really see too much of that stuff nowadays, or at least I definitely haven't heard of anything. Could really use a pot of greed in this deck, but all right. Yeah, it's nothing that I've really heard about, especially, you know, right now, considering all the things that are going on in the world, and it's kind of difficult to get everyone stuck into a bus, but yeah. I'm going to get the Bewitching Phantom Thief, who has his ankles all, or his knees all weird and fucked up. Maybe he has to drop a deuce, I don't know. Lost right off the bat. This is hard to take. Says Joey. Runs to catch up. So I guess I have to just take on everyone here. Think you can beat me? I'm pretty sure I can. This game's a little bit brutal just because, like I've said, ooh, he's gonna play an attack mode. How confident. You don't actually get to like recover life points after every duel. You kind of get with whatever you've got. So you see here I've got 51, even though I've just started out the duel, but it's not too bad. I feel like it kind of balances out the fact that I'm like over grinding a little bit, not too much, but you know, I've over grinded a little bit, so it kind of balances out that the computer is given like the game is imposing a bunch of handicaps on me, so it makes it a little bit easier for the computer, but I don't think I'm kind of worried to summon him, so let's actually just summon this. I want to summon Skull Knight, but again, you know, you can just summon anything with the right summon, as what they call it in this game, but I'm just going to say attribute. With the right attribute, you can just go through anything, which is quite fucking lame. But yeah, I've got a lot of the good cards, some of the good cards I should say so far. I can't use like every single good card because I still have to get my duelist level up, and the only way to get your duelist level up is to actually duel like actual important duels against like main characters. These grindy duels here, all they really do is give you, they might give you duel level, but like a little bit. You don't get like an actual decent jump until you face off against like basically a duelist that actually has sprite work, or that has like an actual character design or something like that, or a portrait. Those are the ones that'll give you any sort of duelist level. So it's kind of balanced out in that regard, in that, you know, I have some of these strong cards, but at the same time, not that Skull Knight's a strong card, actually it's a weak card in terms of cost, because it is a tribute monster. But I have some of these like good effect monsters, but I can't really use them, so it's not like it really matters. I'm gonna get like the 5th copy of Morphine Jar. You're tougher than you look. Alright, so I can't go up here. Now that I've taken on these 2 numbskulls, does that mean I can finally progress? Or no? The level of competition is higher in the next cart. Then let me go to the next cart. Alright, next stop, our next and only stop is the Egypt exhibition. Oh, so I have to duel this guy. Can you beat me at your duelist level? I'm pretty sure I can, guy. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and play this here. We've got Mirage Knight in our hand, which is good. Mirage Knight is one of the best cards in this game. Because he's got a permanent effect. Which, you know, kind of makes it annoying. Ooh, I don't know if I want to play this. This is kind of like I feel like it's better to use the Valley off of it than attack. He's basically an Exile Force, where you can use his effect to sacrifice itself and then destroy a monster your opponent has. But Mirage Knight is amazing. He has a permanent effect, but it only activates once, because what it does is at the start of my opponent's turn, he automatically summons a copy of... Can't do anything about that. A copy of Dark Magician and Flame Swordsman on the field. So it gives me 2 monsters on the field, which are, of course, the fusions you use, or the fusion materials you use to summon Mirage Knight originally. But having 2 monsters on the field is pretty good, especially considering that, you know, anyone can summon anything, and it can just go through my monster with the right attribute. So instead of having one big monster with one attribute, it's nice to be able to like split them up into 2 different monsters with 2 different attributes that are still relatively big. And I usually don't like playing cards that give you what is it called? Blanking out on the word. LP. Yeah, I usually don't like playing cards that give you LP, but I actually feel like I have to in order to actually make it through this. I'm sure eventually that red medicine will get replaced with the Aikido, but as you can see here now we've got the Flame Swordsman and the Dark Magician. So he tried to attack with his monster. Ooh, okay, so that took out the Dark Magician That kind of sucks. And that took down that monster because it was an earth monster, which is both very unfortunate, but luckily my monsters here on the field can get through these relatively easily. And the good thing at least is that I don't lose any life points from any of those shenanigans with different summons. Ooh, we actually tribute summoned a monster. But it is going to get destroyed next turn, so I don't know if that was really worth it. Oh yes, the powerful Fire Reaper. Fire Reaper was activated. It will shoot a flaming arrow at the foe to inflict 50 damage. Oh, silly ass card. I think like that and Sparks are the only cards that I can think of that actually do like burn damage in this deck. There might be, or not in this deck, in this game. There might be a couple other ones that I'll have to take a look into, but yeah. I thought originally Infinite Dismissal was kind of lame, but it's actually pretty good in case my opponent summons anything that, like right now if they were to summon a water monster, they can easily destroy my 2 fire monsters, but Infinite Dismissal will stop them from attacking that turn, and then next turn I can hopefully get something to deal with them. I'm just not drawing anything good right now. Need to get at least another monster. But yeah, I definitely need to try and see if I can get myself some copies of Pot of Greed, or I don't even know if Graceful Cherry's in this game, but something that'll let me draw cards. Just so I can have an easier time here. So let's go ahead and run into this wall. Apparently his entire deck is just monsters with 700 attack and 900 defense. I'm gonna go ahead and win, get a little bit of deck capacity and some domino, and we're gonna get one of the cards he was using, Djinn, the Water of the Wind. Well, I've been defeated, but the next card won't be so easy. Alright, let's go into the next card. I think here we're going to actually see, yep. You'll go no further. My name is Panic. The Millennium Items will never be yours. Looks like we've entered a tunnel, and darkness gives me power. It's time to duel. So we'll take on Panic next time. Take care of yourself.